what 2008 has meant for you, your money, your shares and your job.
It's the year that brought us to the verge of recession. The banks had to be rescued with our money, the pound plunged as the government debt has soared, and famous names like Woolworths gave up the ghost.
Well, we asked Mystic Jill, our very own Gillian Lissy-Sotomayor that is, to look at what a year it's been and what might be in her crystal ball for 2009.
A year ago at Christmas time, although there had been some warning shots like the Northern Rock bailout, economically speaking, things still looked pretty cosy. House prices were growing at 4.8% on the year. Unemployment stood at 1.64 million. Interest rates were 5.5%, and the economy was growing at a perfectly respectable 0.5% per quarter. But what a year it's been! Dramatic and disconcerting, or let's go even further, torrid and terrifying. Take your pick. Let's take a look back. In January, stock markets suffered their biggest fall since September the 11th, 2001. In February, Alistair Darling announced that Northern Rock would be nationalised. In April, though, the crisis really started to hit home. It moved from being a banking crisis to the unravelling of a whole general economic nightmare. There was the first annual fall in house prices in 12 years. The 100% mortgage disappeared. House builders then started to announce job losses. June, the banking crisis got yet worse. They started to panic about not having enough funds and went cap in hand to shareholders. Barclays announced a rights issue following on from RBS's announcement a couple of months earlier. July, the huge American mortgage institutions Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac teetered. The authorities stepped in straight away, knowing it would be far too dangerous for these giants to fail. August, UK growth ground to a complete halt, and Darling warned of the worst crisis in 60 years. September, this is when Lehman collapsed and there was no bailout. This led to huge turmoil in the financial markets, and it's no exaggeration to say a meltdown of the banking sector started. October, the fight back began in earnest. $700 billion was pumped in by the US government, and over here, the government bailed out the banks to the tune of £37 billion. Icelandic banks collapsed, and with one, IceSave, the UK government intervened to guarantee savers money. November, the Bank of England slashed interest rates in a surprise move from 4.5% right down to 3%, the lowest level since 1955. A reaction to unemployment rising and the economy actually shrinking. The government, in a determination to boost spending, cut VAT by 2.5%. And to December, well, there's been no end to the bad news. Big names like Woolies and MFI have collapsed, leaving a trail of job losses. And then there's the pound. That fell to a record low against the euro. One cartoonist even joked that the pound would soon reach parity with a chocolate coin. Now, though, the picture has rather changed and it's looking very chilly and bleak. House prices have gone from growing to plunging, down 13.9% on the year. Unemployment has also started to soar, and it's only just the beginning. Interest rates have been cut drastically down to 2% in an attempt to help. And the economy's gone from healthy growth to unhealthy contraction. Okay, let's look forward then. Any optimism for 2009? Well, economists do say it's going to get worse before it gets better, but at least at a global level we can be reassured that the authorities are using every tool they've got to rekindle that fire.
So Gillian there with the good stuff, Christmas present and future. So what the dickens is going